Why does the man trying to kill me have the same face as the man who just saved my life? That's the question Amara whispers into the dark as the sedan speeds away from the bridge. Her hands won't stop shaking. The phone clutched in her palm contains 23 seconds that could destroy an empire or get her killed before sunrise. But let's go back, just 10 minutes earlier. The fog rolls thick over the Han River Bridge, swallowing streetlights whole and turning them into dim halos. Amara's sneakers slap wet pavement as she runs. Behind her, 3 men close the distance with every stride. She doesn't speak their language, but she understands the threat in their voices. She almost didn't record it. The scene in that underground parking garage, a man in a tailored suit, cold as winter, ending someone's life with surgical precision. She was just cutting through to get home after her flower-selling shift. Wrong place. Terrible timing. One of the men behind her shouts something sharp. She stumbles, catches herself against the bridge railing. The river below churns black and endless. She could throw the phone, let it sink. Maybe they'd stop chasing her. But that man in the video, someone loved him. Someone is waiting for him to come home tonight. She can't let his death mean nothing. Headlights slice through the fog. A dark sedan swerves hard to the curb just ahead of her. The door flies open before the car fully stops. A man leans out, his face half in shadow, eyes urgent. "Get in!" His voice cuts through her panic like a lifeline. Amara doesn't know him, but she knows the men behind her won't show mercy. She runs, dives into the back seat. The car lurches forward before she even closes the door. Through the rear window, she watches the thugs fade into mist, their angry shouts swallowed by distance and engine noise. The driver glances at her in the rearview mirror. His eyes are warm, concerned. Nothing like the cold calculation she saw in that parking garage video. "Are you hurt?" She shakes her head, finding her voice. "Why did you stop?" "Because I wouldn't leave anyone alone in the cold night." His voice carries a gentle weight, like someone who's lived through his own dark hours. "My name is Jae-hyun. You're safe now." She wants to believe him, but the phone burning in her pocket says otherwise. Across the city, 73 floors above the same river, another man stares at a frozen security feed. The woman's face fills his screen, mid-20s, dark skin, box braids pulled back, floral jacket. Her phone is pointed directly at the camera, at him. Kang Jaemin taps the screen once. His voice carries the temperature of a walk-in freezer. "Delete it." The subordinate standing beside his desk bows slightly. "We're tracking her location now, sir. She won't survive the night." Jaemin barely acknowledges the response. He's already scanning the next threat report, the next problem to eliminate. In his world, people are either useful or expendable. Variables that threaten the organization get reduced to 0. He's been doing this for 15 years without hesitation. But then the security feed advances. The woman stumbles toward the bridge. A car pulls up. A man leans out. Jaemin's fingers freeze over the keyboard. That face. Even in the grainy footage, even from this angle, the resemblance steals his breath. The bone structure. The way the stranger moves. Careful, protective, kind. It's like watching himself from another life. Before the blood. Before the empire. Before he learned that mercy gets you killed. He rewinds, pauses, zooms in. "Impossible. You were taken away. I saw them drag you to that car. I watched you disappear." But the man on the screen is real, alive, saving the exact person Jaemin needs destroyed. His hand trembles as he closes the laptop. For the first time in 15 years, Kang Jaemin feels something he thought he'd buried along with his conscience. Fear. And something worse, something that feels dangerously close to hope. The old flower shop smells like damp soil and roses past their bloom, with an undertone of green stems and ancient wood. It sits wedged between a shuttered pharmacy with cracked windows and a coin laundry that hums through the night in a neighborhood where broken streetlights outnumber working ones 3-1. Jae-hyun parks in the narrow alley behind it, kills the engine, and the sudden silence feels almost sacred. He turns to face Amara. "We'll be safe here tonight," he says quietly. The owner is an old friend. She doesn't ask questions, and she doesn't tell stories. Amara nods, but doesn't move. Her fingers are still locked around her phone like it's both a weapon and a curse. Jae-hyun notices but doesn't push. He simply steps out, opens her door with careful courtesy, and waits with the patience of someone who understands that trauma has its own timeline. Inside, the shop is dim, lit only by a single lamp near the register that casts warm amber light across weathered wooden surfaces. Buckets of flowers line the walls, tulips losing their vibrant color to time, chrysanthemums drooping slightly under their own weight. Baby's breath that still holds its delicate beauty despite the late hour. The air is cool and damp, carrying the scent of life and growth. It feels like stepping into a protected pocket of the world where violence can't reach. Jae-hyun gestures toward a wooden stool worn smooth by years of use. "Sit. I'll get you water." She sits because her legs finally give out. The adrenaline is fading, leaving exhaustion in its wake. When Jae-hyun returns, he hands her a plastic bottle and a clean towel that smells faintly of lavender. "For your hands." She looks down. Her palms are scraped raw, dirt and blood smeared across her skin from catching herself on the bridge railing. The pain registers now that she's stopped running. She takes the towel, pressing it against the wounds. "Thank you." He pulls up another stool, maintaining a respectful distance. No crowding, no invasion of space. For a long moment, they just breathe together. Two strangers learning to trust the silence between them, learning to trust the fact that they're both still alive. "You don't have to tell me what happened," Jae-hyun says carefully. "But I'm listening if you want to talk about it." Amara studies him in the low light. His face is angular, but somehow soft at the edges, like someone who's survived damage without letting it turn him cruel. His clothes are simple and worn with honest labor. Black jacket with a frayed collar, gray shirt that's been washed so many times the fabric is thin, jeans that have seen better years but are clean. He smells faintly of coffee and rain and something that reminds her of safety. She takes a breath that shudders in her chest. "I recorded something I shouldn't have seen. And now they want it back. They want me gone, erased." Her voice cracks, and she hates how vulnerable she sounds. "I was just trying to get home after work. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't ask for this." "I believe you." The simplicity of those 3 words breaks something loose inside her chest. She looks down at the phone in her lap, its screen dark but heavy with meaning. "I could delete it, pretend I never saw anything. Maybe they'd stop hunting me then. Maybe I could just disappear back into my normal life." "But someone died," Jae-hyun finishes gently. "And they deserve better than silence. Better than being forgotten." She nods, blinking back tears that blur her vision. "He had a wallet photo. A little girl, maybe 5 years old, wearing a school uniform and smiling at the camera. She's going to grow up without her father because of what I witnessed. Because someone decided he was expendable." Jae-hyun leans forward slightly, his voice soft but firm. "Then you carry that truth until you can do something meaningful with it. But you don't have to carry it alone anymore. Not tonight. Not while I'm here." "I don't even know you." "True." He offers a small, sad smile that doesn't quite reach his eyes. But I know what it's like to be invisible in a city that doesn't notice when people disappear. I know what it feels like when everyone walks past your suffering, because stopping would be inconvenient. I'm not letting that happen to you. She searches his face for signs of deception, hidden agendas, anything that would explain why a complete stranger would risk his life for hers. She finds nothing but quiet determination mixed with something that looks like old pain that taught him empathy instead of bitterness. "What's your name again?" she whispers. "Jae-hyun. Kang Jae-hyun." "I'm Amara." Amara. He repeats it carefully, respectfully, like it's a word he wants to remember. "That's a beautiful name. It means eternal in some languages. My grandmother chose it." "Then you'll live forever." His tone is light, but his eyes are serious and full of promise. "I'll make sure of it." Across the city, Jamin stands in his office where floor-to-ceiling glass walls offer a panoramic view of Seoul's glittering skyline. The city spreads before him like a kingdom of light, millions of people living their small lives far below his tower, unaware of the man who pulls strings in the shadows. The room is all sharp angles and cold surfaces, steel, glass, leather, designed to intimidate, to remind visitors they're in the presence of absolute power. He's always preferred it this way. No warmth to distract from business. No softness to suggest weakness. But tonight, his reflection in the window looks like a stranger. He sees what others must see. Expensive suit tailored to perfection. Eyes that have gone hard from seeing too much. A man who built an empire on fear and silence and the bodies of those who got in his way. A man who's never lost a battle, never shown mercy, never questioned his own ruthlessness. Until now. His phone vibrates against the glass desk. He answers without checking the screen, his voice flat. "Report." "We lost her trail, sir." The subordinate sounds nervous, which is appropriate. Failure isn't tolerated in this organization. "The driver's vehicle isn't registered to any database we can access. We can't track it through normal channels." Jamin's jaw tightens almost imperceptibly. "Expand the search radius. Use street cameras, traffic feeds, every tool we have." "There's something else, sir." A pause heavy with hesitation. "Facial recognition flagged the driver. The match to your profile is 99.8%. We ran it 3 times to be sure." The words land like a physical blow to his chest. Jamin doesn't respond immediately. Can't respond. His mind is racing through possibilities, explanations, anything that makes sense of the impossible. "Your orders, sir? Should we proceed with elimination of both targets?" He closes his eyes. Behind his eyelids, he sees a memory from 20 years ago, vivid as yesterday. 2 boys who shared everything. A bedroom with twin beds. Toys scattered across the floor. Dreams whispered in the dark about running away together someday. Until the night men in dark suits came and took one boy away, while the other watched from an upstairs window. Too young to understand what was happening. Too powerless to stop it. Too frightened to even scream. Jamin was 7 when he learned the first brutal rule of their family. You don't get to keep the people you love. Survival means choosing power over connection, strength over sentiment, control over caring. He opened his eyes, believing his twin brother was gone forever. The orphanage records said he'd been adopted out to a family in the countryside, lost to a gentler world far from the violence that defined the Kang legacy. But the man on that security feed is alive. Here, in Seoul, living and breathing in the same city, protecting the very person who threatens everything Jaemin has spent 15 years building. "Do not harm the driver," Jaemin says, his voice carefully controlled, each word measured. "Surveillance only. I want his location tracked, his movements documented, his contacts identified. But no one touches him. Make that absolutely clear to everyone." "Yes, sir. Understood." He ends the call. His hand presses flat against the cold glass window, grounding him in something solid as his carefully constructed world tilts sideways on its axis. "You survived. All this time, you were here breathing the same air. And I never knew. I never even thought to look for you in my own city. And the first thing I did when I saw your face again was send men to kill you. The Mafia empire that was supposed to protect him, to ensure he'd never feel powerless again, suddenly feels like the cage. And somewhere in the city below, his twin brother, still kind, still whole, still capable of saving strangers in the fog, holds the only key that matters. The only key to the humanity Jaemin thought he'd killed years ago. If you're already hooked on this story, hit that like button and subscribe, because what happens next will change everything. Rain starts falling just after midnight. Jaehyun and Amara slip out of the flower shop before dawn, navigating back streets where surveillance cameras have blind spots. Jaehyun knows this city like a map written on his skin. Every safe corner, every shadow that offers refuge, every place where you can become invisible. They end up at a bus station on the edge of Itaewon, the kind of place the city forgot. Cracked tiles, flickering fluorescent lights, a vending machine that only works if you hit it just right. A few people huddle on plastic benches, waiting for buses that won't arrive for hours. Jaehyun and Amara take seats near the back, under a speaker that hisses broken static. Rain hammers the metal roof like insistent fingers drumming for attention. Amara shivers. She's still wearing the same floral jacket from earlier, now soaked through and clinging to her shoulders. Jaehyun notices. Without a word, he shrugs off his windbreaker, tattered, zipper broken, and drapes it over her. "You'll freeze," she protests. "I've been colder." He pulls a half loaf of bread from his backpack, tears it carefully in two, and hands her the larger piece. "Eat. You need your strength." She accepts it. The bread is stale but still faintly warm from being in his bag. She chews slowly, watching him from the corner of her eye. "You didn't ask me why they were chasing me," she observes. Jaehyun leans back against the wall, eyes closing briefly. "Everyone's running from something. I just want you to make it until tomorrow." The words settle over her like the jacket, unexpected comfort from an unexpected source. "Do you do this often? Save random strangers?" He opens one eye, the corner of his mouth lifting slightly. "You're actually the first." "Then why me?" He considers the question before answering. When he speaks, his voice carries the weight of lived experience. "I grew up in places like this. Bus stations, shelters, alleys when there was nowhere else to go. I know what it's like when everyone walks past. When you're invisible, even when you're screaming. I promised myself that if I ever had the chance to be the person who stops, I would." Amara's throat tightens. "You were alone?" "For a long time." He doesn't elaborate, but she hears years of loneliness compressed into those 4 words. She looks down at the bread in her hands. "I came here 3 years ago. Thought Seoul would be my fresh start. Work hard, save money, eventually bring my grandmother over. Give her the life she deserves." "Where is she now?" "Atlanta, waiting for me to send money every month so she can keep her apartment." She swallows hard. "If something happens to me here, she'll die waiting." Jaehyun opens his eyes fully. "Nothing's going to happen to you." "You can't promise that." Yes, I can. His voice is steady as stone. Because I'm not letting you face this alone. She wants to believe him. She wants to believe that one man with no weapons and no money can stand between her and an empire built on violence. But the video on her phone tells a different story. The rain eases to a drizzle. The station clock ticks past 3 a.m. An empty bus pulls in, then leaves again without passengers. Amara lets her head rest against the wall. I used to sell flowers at night, near the Gangnam subway exit. People would buy them for dates, for apologies, for celebrations. I liked giving people a reason to smile. You'll do that again, Jae-hyun says, when this is over. When this is over, I'll either be dead or deported. Or free. She laughs, bitter and exhausted. You're really an optimist. I'm a realist. I've survived worse than this. So will you. She turns to look at him. His face is calm, open, honest. There's no false bravado, no empty promises. Just quiet, stubborn belief that good outcomes are still possible. She doesn't know why she trusts him. Maybe because he's the first person in 3 years who's looked at her and seen a human being instead of a foreigner, or a problem, or cheap labor. Thank you, she whispers. Jae-hyun doesn't answer with words. He just reaches out slowly, squeezes her hand once, then releases it. The gesture is brief, but grounding. A promise without pressure. They sit in comfortable silence until the rain stops and gray morning light seeps through the station windows. Somewhere in the city, dangerous men are searching for them. But here, in this forgotten corner, they're simply 2 people trying to survive until tomorrow. Jae-hyun stands, offering his hand. Come on, I know a safer place. Amara takes his hand. His grip is steady and warm. She lets him pull her to her feet. For the first time since the bridge, she thinks survival might actually be possible. The underground command center exists 3 levels below a luxury hotel in Gangnam, buried like a secret the city doesn't want to acknowledge. No windows to let in natural light. No fresh air from outside. Just the cold blue glow of dozens of monitors and the mechanical hum of servers processing massive amounts of data at inhuman speeds. The air smells like electronics and filtered oxygen and the subtle scent of power. Jaemin stands before the largest screen in the room, arms crossed, expression carefully unreadable. His second in command, a thin man named Park, with nervous energy and sharp intelligence, cycles through security feeds from across the city with practiced efficiency. They've been searching for 6 hours straight. The woman has vanished as completely as if she never existed. But the driver hasn't. Park freezes a frame with a sharp keystroke. There, sir. 2:47 in the morning. Iriwan bus station, north entrance. Jaemin steps closer to the screen, his expensive shoes silent on the polished floor. The image is grainy but sufficient for analysis. A man and woman sitting on a bench together. The man is sharing food with her, his body language protective without being aggressive. His face angles slightly toward the camera, almost as if he's looking directly at Jaemin across time and distance. Park initiates the facial recognition scan with trembling fingers. The program processes with algorithmic certainty. Numbers cascade across the screen in green text. Biometric match. Confidence, 99.8%. Kang Jae-min. The room goes silent except for the hum of machinery. Park stares at the screen, then at Jae-min, then back at the impossible data. His face has gone pale. Sir, this is impossible. There must be an error in the system. Jaemin remains motionless as a statue, but inside, his mind is racing, his heart pounding in a way it hasn't in years. He's seen this face before, in mirrors every morning, in old photographs hidden in a locked drawer, In nightmares, where a 7-year-old boy screams his name as men drag him toward a black vehicle while he watches helplessly from a window. He reaches out with fingers that tremble slightly, touching the cold screen as if he could reach through it and touch the past itself. Enhance the image. Maximum resolution. Park complies with quick keystrokes. The resolution sharpens pixel by pixel. The man's face fills the entire display in crystalline detail. Same bone structure inherited from a father they shared. Same eyes shaped by genetics they couldn't escape. Same small scar above the left eyebrow, a mark Jamin got at 5 years old, falling from a playground swing while trying to impress his twin. His twin had gotten an identical scar the same day, falling while trying to catch him. They used to call each other mirror brothers, used to say they were the same person split into 2 bodies. Run a comprehensive background search, Jamin says, and his voice sounds strange to his own ears, flat, controlled, but with something underneath threatening to break through. Full history, name, address, employment records, medical files, educational background, police contacts. I want to know everything about this man. Yes, sir. Right away. Park's fingers fly across the keyboard with desperate speed. Data streams populate the screen like rain falling upward. Within minutes, a complete profile assembles itself from fragments scattered across databases. Kang Jae-hyun, age 27, no criminal record. Employment history, night taxi driver, current. Part-time delivery work, previous positions in food service and retail. Last known address, Guro District, 3rd floor walk-up above a laundromat on a street that doesn't appear on most maps. Medical records indicate childhood malnutrition and untreated fractures consistent with neglect. No family listed, no emergency contacts, alone. Jamin reads every line twice, 3 times. His twin didn't just survive the orphanage and whatever came after. He stayed in Seoul all these years. He's been here all along, less than 10 miles away, breathing the same polluted air, walking the same crowded streets, living in the same city, but in a completely different world. And Jamin never knew. Never thought to look. Never imagined his brother was still alive, still here, still existing in the spaces between Jamin's empire and power. Sir? Park's voice is cautious. Your orders? Jamin closes his eyes. He sees his father's face that night, cold, resolute. Sees his mother turning away, choosing silence over her own son. Sees himself at 7 years old, learning the brutal lesson. You survive by becoming harder than whatever tries to break you. He opens his eyes. Bring them both in, alive. No harm comes to either of them. Am I clear? Park hesitates. Sir, the woman has the video. If we don't eliminate... I said alive. Jamin's voice drops to a dangerous register. Anyone who touches them answers to me personally. Understood? Park bows quickly. Understood, sir. Jamin turns away from the screen. He walks to the far corner of the room where shadows are deepest, presses his forehead against the concrete wall. The cold surface grounds him. Behind him, Park coordinates the search. Radios crackle. Orders transmit. The machine moves into motion. But Jamin can't move. Because for the first time in 15 years, he's not in control. The empire he built to ensure he'd never feel powerless again. That empire is now hunting the only family he has left. And he has no idea how to stop it without destroying everything. The abandoned textile factory squats in Seongsu-dong, near the river. Jae-hyun discovered it 2 years ago during a particularly desperate winter. The windows are boarded. The concrete floor bears rust stains and oil marks, but it's quiet and forgotten, the perfect place to hide. He and Amara have been here for 2 days. They sleep in shifts, eat convenience store meals, and listen to the city's distant pulse beyond the walls. Amara has watched the video 37 times. Each viewing shows the same scene. A man in an expensive suit ending a life without hesitation. She doesn't know his name yet, but she knows his face. The same face that saved her. On the third night, Jae-hyun leaves to get supplies. He gives Amara a burner phone and explicit instructions. If I'm not back in 2 hours, you run. Don't wait for me. She waits. 1 hour passes, then 2, then 3. At 2 in the morning, the door explodes inward. 4 men in tactical gear flood the space, weapons drawn. Amara scrambles backward, but there's nowhere to go. One grabs her arm, yanks her upright. She tries to scream, but a gloved hand covers her mouth. They drag her outside where a black van idles in the alley. They shove her into the back. Doors slam. The van moves. Amara lies on the floor, wrists zip-tied, surrounded by silent men who look through her instead of at her. Her heart hammers so hard she thinks it might crack her ribs. 20 minutes later, the van stops. They pull her out into an underground parking garage. Industrial, massive, lit by harsh fluorescent tubes. The air smells like exhaust and old fear. They walk her toward the far end, where a single figure waits beneath flickering light. As they approach, Amara sees his face. It's Jae-hyun. Relief crashes through her. Jae-hyun! But then he turns, and everything is wrong. The expression on his face is cold, detached. All the warmth she knows has been replaced by something harder. Bring her closer, the man says. His voice is controlled, measured. Not Jae-hyun's voice. The men obey, stopping 10 feet away. Amara stares at the man who looks exactly like her protector. Same height, same build, same scar above the left eyebrow. But the eyes are completely different. These eyes have seen too much darkness and let some of it in. Who are you? She whispers. The man tilts his head slightly, studying her. I'm Kang Jaemin. You're the woman who's been remarkably difficult to find. Her blood turns ice cold. Footsteps echo from behind. Amara twists her head. Another figure emerges from the shadows, running, desperate. It's him, the real him. Let her go! Jae-hyun's voice cracks with desperation. He stops 15 feet away, breathing hard, hands raised in surrender. Please, she hasn't done anything wrong. Jaemin doesn't move. He's staring at Jae-hyun like he's seeing a ghost return to life. Who are you? Jae-hyun freezes. What? Who are you? Each word is precise, sharp as broken glass. I don't understand what you're... Why do you have my face? Jaemin's voice rises slightly, the first crack in his composure. The question lands like a physical blow. Jae-hyun's mouth opens, closes. He looks at Jaemin, really looks, and recognition crashes over him like a wave. No, Jae-hyun breathes. You're the man from the video? And you're the one who saved her. Because she's innocent! Jae-hyun's voice rises, desperate. She didn't choose any of this. She has evidence that could destroy everything I've built. Then let it be destroyed, Jae-hyun shouts. If what you've built requires innocent blood, it deserves to fall. Jaemin's jaw tightens. For a brief moment, the mask slips. Amara sees something flicker across his face. Pain, maybe, or the ghost of grief. Then it's gone. Jaemin gestures to his men. Take her to the secondary location. I'll handle her after I finish here. No! Jae-hyun lunges forward. The men grab him, force him to the ground. He fights with wild desperation. Don't touch her! Take me instead! Please! Jaemin watches, expression carefully neutral. Why do you care so much about a stranger? Jae-hyun stops struggling. He looks up, eyes blazing with conviction. Because I'm not like you. The words cut deeper than any weapon. Jamin crouches in front of him. They're face to face now, identical and opposite. You don't know anything about me. I know you kill people. Jaehyun's voice is quiet but steady. I know you think power equals safety. I know you've built walls so high, you've forgotten there's a sky above them. Jamin's breath catches. And what do you know about the sky? I know it's still there, even when you can't see it anymore. Silence stretches between them. The fluorescent lights buzz overhead. Somewhere distant, a car alarm wails and stops. Jamin stands slowly. He looks at Amara, who's shaking but holding her chin up. Defiant. He looks back at Jaehyun. You're protecting her. Yes. Why? Because she's good. Good things are rare. I won't stand by and watch you erase another good thing from this world. Jamin's expression shudders completely. He turns to his men. Release him! They let Jaehyun go immediately. He scrambles to his feet, moves toward Amara. But Jamin raises one hand. Not her, just you. Jaehyun stops. Then I'm staying. You don't have a choice. I'm making one. Jaehyun steps between Jamin and Amara, shielding her with his body. You want her? You go through me first. Jamin stares at him. At this stranger who shares his face but chose a completely different path. This man who chose kindness in a world designed to punish it. This is who I could have been, Jamin thinks. If they hadn't taken you. If I hadn't learned to survive by becoming the thing I feared most. He feels something shift inside his chest. Not breaking, just opening. Who are you? He asks again. But this time, the question is different. Softer. Jaehyun meets his gaze steadily. I'm Kang Jaehyun. I think I'm your brother. The words hover in the air like smoke that won't dissipate. Jamin's carefully constructed world tilts on its axis. 15 years of discipline, control, carefully maintained ruthlessness, all of it shudders under the weight of a truth he's spent 2 decades trying to bury. He steps back. His men watch, confused. Amara watches, terrified. Jaehyun watches, hopeful. Jamin's voice emerges barely above a whisper. My brother died 15 years ago. I didn't die. Jaehyun's voice is gentle, aching. I was just lost. Jamin closes his eyes. For the first time since he was 7 years old, he lets himself remember. 2 boys, same face, same laugh, same dream of finding a place where they'd be safe together. Then the men came. 1 boy stayed, 1 boy was taken. And the one who stayed learned to build an empire so he'd never feel powerless again. When Jamin opens his eyes, they're wet. Let her go, he says quietly. His men don't move, too shocked to respond. I said let her go. His voice is raw now, commanding. They cut Amara's restraints. She stumbles forward. Jaehyun catches her, steadies her. Jamin looks at them. His twin and the woman his twin chose to protect. You have 24 hours. After that, I can't shield you from what's coming. Jaehyun stares at him. Why are you doing this? Jamin doesn't answer. He simply turns and walks away, disappearing into the shadows of the parking garage. Behind him, he leaves 2 people who should be dead. And a part of himself he thought was gone forever. They run until their lungs burn. Jaehyun and Amara navigate through back alleys and subway tunnels, finally reaching a small motel in Bucheon, where cash buys anonymity. The room is bare. 1 bed, a bathroom with a cracked mirror, walls thin enough to hear neighboring arguments. Amara sits on the bed's edge, trembling. Jaehyun crouches before her, hands gentle on her knees, grounding her. breathe, he says softly. You're safe now. I'm not. Her voice breaks. Neither are you. That man, Jaemin, he's your brother? I think so. Jaehyun's voice sounds hollow. I didn't know. I've been alone my whole life. I thought there was no one. He's the one from the video, Jaehyun, the killer. I know. He murdered someone in cold blood. He's dangerous. I know. Jaehyun's voice cracks. He drops his head, still holding her knees gently. I know exactly what he is, but he also let us go when he could have ended us both. Amara stares at him. Why would he do that? Because somewhere beneath all that blood and power, he's still my brother. She wants to argue. She wants to tell him that people like Jaemin don't change. That mercy from a monster is just strategy, not transformation. But she sees the desperate hope in Jaehyun's eyes. The need to believe there's still something redeemable in the person who shares his face. She reaches out, cups his cheek gently. Jaehyun, listen carefully. We have 24 hours, or we need to use them. To run? To finish this. She pulls out her phone. The video is still there. 23 seconds that could topple an empire. I'm releasing it. Publicly. Once it's out there, they can't silence me anymore. Jaehyun's grip tightens. They'll come after you. They're coming anyway. Her voice steadies with resolve. At least this way, it means something. That man in the video, his daughter gets justice. He searches her face. You're the bravest person I've ever met. I'm the most terrified. She smiles, small and sad. But my grandmother used to say courage isn't the absence of fear. It's doing what's right while you're shaking. Jaehyun pulls her into his arms. She lets herself lean into him, just for this moment. His heartbeat is steady against her ear. She closes her eyes. I'm sorry I brought you into this, she whispers. You didn't bring me anywhere. I chose to stop that night. He pulls back, looks at her intently. And I'd make the same choice again. Something shifts between them, something deeper than gratitude or circumstance. Amara sees it in his eyes, the way he looks at her like she's the only light in a dark world. Jaehyun, her voice softens. When this is over. When this is over, he interrupts gently. We're opening that flower shop you talked about. You and me. Together. Her eyes burn with tears. You don't owe me anything. I owe you everything. You reminded me that good people still exist. She laughs through tears. You're the good person. Then we're both good. And we both deserve a chance to prove it. She kisses him. It's soft, brief, tasting of salt and desperation and fragile hope. When she pulls back, his eyes are wide with surprise and something warmer. I had to, she whispers, in case tomorrow doesn't come. Jaehyun's jaw sets with determination. Tomorrow will come. I promise you that. They hold each other until exhaustion claims them both. When Amara wakes to pale morning light, Jaehyun is gone. A note rests on the pillow. I'm sorry. I have to reach him before this escalates. If anyone can stop what's coming, it's me. Stay here. I'll come back for you. J.H. Amara stares at the note, hands shaking. He's gone to face his brother, alone, and she knows, feels it in her bones, that he's planning to sacrifice himself to save her. She grabs her phone, checks the video one final time. Then she makes her choice. If Jae-hyun is going to fight for her, she's fighting for him too. And her only weapon is truth. She starts uploading the video everywhere she can think of. Social media platforms, news sites, anonymous tip lines. Her fingers fly across the screen. The upload bar crawls forward. 10%, 25%, 50%. She's done running. The abandoned warehouse hunches on the port's edge like a forgotten promise. Rusted shipping containers stack around it 3 high. The Han River glitters in the distance, catching late afternoon sun. Inside, the air smells like salt, rust, and decay. Jaemin stands in the center of the empty space, hands in his pockets. He's been waiting for 30 minutes. He knew his brother would come. The door creaks open. Jae-hyun steps inside, breathing hard from running. He's alone. "Where is she?" Jaemin asks without preamble. "Somewhere safe." Jae-hyun walks closer, stopping 20 feet away. "I came to talk." "There's nothing to discuss." "There's everything to discuss." Jae-hyun's voice is steady despite the fear underneath. "We're brothers. Same face, same parents, same beginning. We had different endings. It's not over yet." Jaemin laughs, bitter, sharp. "You think you can save me? Is that your plan?" "I think you can save yourself. I'm too far gone for that." "I don't believe you." Jae-hyun takes another step forward. "You let us go. You could have killed us both, but you didn't. That means something. It means I'm weak. It means you're still human." Jaemin's jaw clenches. Behind him, hidden in shadows, 6 men wait with weapons ready, waiting for orders. Jae-hyun sees them. He doesn't run. "I remember you," Jae-hyun says quietly. "Not much. Just pieces. A room we shared. A toy train we fought over. Your hand holding mine during thunderstorms because I was scared." Jaemin's breath catches. "I didn't understand what happened," Jae-hyun continues. "One day, I had a family. The next day, I was in an orphanage being told my parents were dead. I spent 20 years thinking I didn't matter, that I wasn't worth keeping." "You were better off away from this life," Jaemin says, but his voice wavers. "Was I?" Jae-hyun's eyes glisten. "I spent 2 decades thinking I was worthless, and you spent 2 decades becoming someone you hate. Which one of us was better off?" Jaemin's composure fractures. "I did what I had to survive. You did what our father taught you, but he's gone now. You can choose differently." "It's too late." "It's not." Jae-hyun's voice breaks. "We can still be brothers. It's not too late for that." Jaemin closes his eyes. For a moment, he's 7 again, watching his twin scream as men drag him away, feeling his mother's cold hand on his shoulder, hearing his father's voice. "Weakness doesn't survive in our world. You'll understand someday." He understands now. He was never protecting himself. He just became the thing that destroyed them both. "I can't save you, Jae-hyun." Jaemin's voice sounds hollow. "And you can't save me." "Then let me try anyway." A phone vibrates. Jaemin pulls it out. His face drains of color as he reads. The video, uploaded everywhere, going viral, news stations picking it up. His face plastered across every screen in Seoul. "She released it," Jaemin whispers. Jaehyun's eyes widen. What? Amara. She released the video. Jaemin looks at his brother, and for the first time, genuine fear shows through his mask. They're coming for me now. The government. Police. The other organizations. I'm finished. Then disappear, Jaehyun urges. Run. Start over somewhere else. There's nowhere to run. Jaemin's voice is final. I built this empire on too many graves. Behind him, Park steps forward. Sir, we have a situation. I know about the video. Not just that. Park's voice is tight. The other organizations. They're moving against you. They say you've become a liability they can't afford. Jaemin processes this. Then he laughs, cold, hollow. Of course they are. Park hesitates. There's a price on your head, and on anyone connected to you. Jaemin looks at Jaehyun. Understanding dawns between them. They're coming for you too, Jaemin says. Because you look like me. Jaehyun's face pales. Amara? She's a witness. They'll eliminate her to clean up loose ends. No. Jaehyun turns toward the door, but men block his path. Let me go. I have to reach her. Jaemin makes a decision. The first truly good one in 15 years. Stand aside, he orders his men. Let him through. Nobody moves. Park steps forward. Sir, we can't allow... Jaemin draws his weapon and levels it at Park. I said let him through. Park's eyes widen. The other men freeze in shock. You've lost your mind, Park says quietly. Probably. Jaemin doesn't lower the weapon. But he's my brother. I won't let him pay for my mistakes. Footsteps echo from outside. Multiple vehicles, shouting. The other organizations have arrived. Jaemin looks at Jaehyun. Go, now. There's a vehicle 2 blocks east. Keys under the floor mat. Get to Amara and disappear. Don't look back. What about you? I'll buy you time. They'll kill you. I know. Jaemin smiles, sad, final, oddly peaceful. But at least I'll die doing one good thing. Jaehyun's face crumples. I just found you. And I just found what I was supposed to be. Jaemin's voice softens. Take care of her, Amara. She's brave. Don't let her courage go to waste. The warehouse doors burst open. Armed men flood in, dozens of them, angry, dangerous. Jaemin fires a warning shot into the ceiling. They scatter for cover. Go! Jaemin shouts. Jaehyun runs. He doesn't look back. The sound of violence erupts behind him. Shouts, weapons firing, chaos. He bursts through a side exit and sprints toward the vehicle. His heart screams. His hands shake. But he doesn't stop. Behind him, the warehouse becomes a battlefield. And inside, Kang Jaemin stands alone against the empire he built, finally choosing his brother over his throne. Amara sits in a coffee shop in Hongdae when her phone explodes with notifications. The video has been viewed 3 million times in 4 hours. News outlets are calling it the Gangnam execution. Politicians are demanding investigations. The criminal network is in chaos. She's watching the storm unfold when the door bursts open. Jaehyun stumbles in, wild-eyed, clothes torn. He sees her and nearly collapses with relief. You're alive, he gasps. She runs to him. What happened? Are you hurt? We have to move, now. They're coming for both of us. Who? Everyone. He pulls her out of the coffee shop. They navigate through back alleys, cut through subway stations, lose themselves in crowds. Hours blur into a survival marathon. By the time they surface again, Night has fallen. They end up on a rooftop in Mapogu. The city sprawls below them, an ocean of lights. Sirens wail in the distance. Helicopters circle high above. Amara looks at Jae-hyun carefully. There's blood on his shirt that isn't his. His hands won't stop shaking. His eyes look haunted. "Your brother?" she asks softly. Jae-hyun's face crumples. "He stayed behind, held them off so I could reach you." "Is he—" "I don't know." His voice breaks. "I didn't look back." Amara takes his hand, lacing their fingers together. "I'm sorry. He chose this path. He chose us." Jae-hyun looks at her intently. "He told me to take care of you. He didn't have to do that." "Yes, he did. Because you did something impossible. You made him remember he was human underneath everything else." Amara's throat tightens. She thinks about the man in that parking garage, the way he looked at his brother with such longing and pain. "Do you think he survived?" "I don't know." Jae-hyun pulls her close. "But I know he wanted us to." They stand together, watching the city burn with the consequences of exposed truth. Police raids light up news screens in building windows below. Arrests are happening. The empire is crumbling. "What do we do now?" Amara whispers. "We disappear until this settles. Then—" He looks at her. "Then we build something good." "Like what?" "Like a life where we don't have to run anymore." She leans her head on his shoulder. "That sounds impossible." "So did surviving today." He kisses the top of her head. "But we did." 3 weeks later, news reports surface that Kang Jae-min's body was found in the Han River. The official cause: injuries sustained during organizational conflict. Police rule it an internal execution. But Amara doesn't believe it, because 2 days after the reported death, a package arrives. No return address. Inside, a single white lily and a note. "I'm sorry I wasn't the brother he deserved, but I'm grateful he found someone who deserves him. Live well." She shows Jae-hyun. He reads it 3 times before folding it carefully and tucking it in his wallet. "He's alive," Jae-hyun whispers. "Where?" "I don't know. Somewhere he can finally breathe." Amara thinks about the man who could have killed them but chose mercy instead. She hopes he finds peace. She hopes he learns that redemption isn't about erasing the past. It's about building a different future. "Do you think we'll see him again?" she asks. Jae-hyun considers this. "Maybe, when enough time has passed, when it's safe." "And if it's never safe? Then we'll remember him anyway." 6 months later, a small flower shop opens in a quiet Yeonam-dong neighborhood. The sign reads "Eternal Blooms" in both English and Korean characters. The walls are painted soft yellow. Shelves overflow with tulips, roses, daisies, and baby's breath. Amara arranges a bouquet behind the counter, wearing a simple dress, hair pulled back in a neat braid. She looks different now, lighter somehow, like someone who finally stopped running from shadows. The bell chimes. Jae-hyun enters carrying 2 coffee cups. He sets one before her and kisses her cheek with easy affection. "Morning rush?" he asks. 3 orders. Not bad for a Tuesday." He smiles. "We're doing okay." "We're doing better than okay." It's true. The shop isn't making them wealthy, but it's enough. Amara sent money to her grandmother last month, enough for a plane ticket. She's visiting in the spring. Jae-hyun still works delivery shifts at night, but he's saving for something bigger. A community center, maybe. A place where people like him, people who fell through society's cracks, can find safety and purpose. It's a dream. but dreams feel achievable now. The doorbell chimes again. An elderly woman enters, looking for flowers for her daughter's wedding. Amara helps her choose peonies and hydrangeas. They discuss love, family, second chances, the kinds of conversations that make this work meaningful. When the woman leaves, Amara turns to Jae-hyun. You know what's interesting? What? I came to Korea chasing success, money, stability. She gestures around the modest shop. This wasn't the plan. Are you disappointed? She looks at him, this man who stopped his car in the fog and changed both their lives forever. This man who chose kindness when cruelty would have been easier. No, I found something better than the plan. What? Home. Jae-hyun's eyes soften. He reaches across the counter, takes her hand. My grandmother used to say something before everything fell apart. What was that? Blood doesn't make family. Choice does. Amara squeezes his hand. She was wise. Outside, the city moves forward. The criminal network has been dismantled piece by piece. Trials continue. Justice moves slowly but steadily. The world kept turning, and somehow, they turned with it. Jae-hyun looks at Amara with sudden seriousness. I never asked you properly. Asked me what? He gets down on one knee right there in the middle of the flower shop, surrounded by petals and sunlight streaming through windows. Amara, you're the bravest person I know. You chose truth when lies were safer. You chose me when running would have been smarter. His voice wavers slightly. Will you choose me again? Every day? For the rest of our lives? Her vision blurs with tears. Jae-hyun. I don't have much to offer. Just a small apartment and dreams of something better. But I have love. So much love. He pulls out a simple silver band. This was my mother's. The only thing I kept from before. I want you to have it. Amara drops to her knees in front of him, taking his face gently in her hands. Yes. Yes, I'll choose you. Every single day. They kiss, surrounded by flowers that bloom despite the cold outside. Snow begins to fall through the window view. The first of the season, coating the streets in white, covering old scars with something clean and new. Somewhere across the city, a man with a changed face and a new name watches the same snow from a different window. He's working construction now. Hard, honest work. His hands are rough. His back aches. But his conscience is clearer than it's been in years. He thinks about his brother often. Wonders if he's happy. Hopes he is. In his pocket, he carries a photo. 2 boys, age 7, identical smiles, hands clasped together. He doesn't know how it survived when everything else burned. He looks at it sometimes, and he remembers who he was before the world taught him cruelty was strength. You were right, Jae-hyun, he thinks. It's not too late to become someone different. Maybe not for full redemption, but for something smaller, something quieter and more honest, for peace. He puts the photo away, returns to his work, and for the first time in his life, the man who was once Kang Jae-min allows himself to hope. Back in the flower shop, Amara and Jae-hyun dance without music, just the rhythm of 2 hearts that found each other in darkness and chose light instead. The snow falls gently, the city breathes, and 2 people who should have died survive to build something beautiful. It's not the fairy tale romance novels promised. It's better, because it's real, it's theirs, and it's enough. Thank you for spending these last 60 minutes with Amara, Jae-hyun, and Jae-min. Their story reminds us that even in the darkest places, truth and love can break through. If this story moved you, If it made you think differently about family, justice, or the motivational power of second chances, hit that like button and subscribe. Tomorrow night, we'll share another story proving that good things still exist in this world. Until then, sleep well, dream big, and remember, you're braver than you think.